So our lesson today is 8.3, Unit 8, Lesson 3, Polynomial Division. And to be able to do polynomial division, you need to have these skills. You need to be able to simplify these types of expressions. I think you can do these. First, I have x to the third power divided by x. This means x times itself 3 times divided by x once. Some people were having a struggle picturing this today. So we substituted a number. We said, okay, if x was 2, then I would have 2 to the third divided by 2. That's 2 to the third is 8 divided by 2. This is 4. 4 is 2 squared. Okay. What I end up with these x's also is if I'm multiplying times x and dividing by x, then those reduce and I get x squared. There's also an exponent property you may or may not remember, where I have x to a power divided by same base, also x to first power. Oops. That's x to the 3 minus 1 power, which is x squared. So really there are several ways you can get there. You can substitute a number if that makes more sense, until you're familiar with what you would get, what the result would be from dividing, or I don't know, any number of ways. As long as you get there, you find your own path. It's fine. Okay, also I need to be able to distribute, multiply. If I multiply x squared times x, I get x to the third power. And if I have x squared times 5, I get plus 5x squared. Next, I have 6x to the third power divided by 2x. And this is an old school division problem. We don't usually write stuff like this anymore, but it's still a thing, y'all. I could write this problem as 6x to the third divided by 2x, and then it looks more like this problem that I just worked up here. I divide 6 by 2, and I get 3. And x to the third divided by x, we just figured out, is x squared. The last example I have is 2x times 2x squared minus 6x, and I distribute the 2x and multiply, get 2x times 2x squared, multiply the number and the variables, and 2x times negative 6x, negative 12x squared. As long as you can multiply and divide, and we'll be combining like terms, which is what we've done so far in Unit 8, you'll be able to do polynomial division. So I think you can do this. We will be doing polynomial long division, just like in 3rd or 4th grade. But when we did it in 3rd or 4th grade, we had numbers and not polynomials. So there's a difference. How do I divide polynomials using long division? And how can I tell if the divisor is a factor? And I found a video on YouTube where these children are absolutely thrilled to be doing long division, and it's very cute. I'm going to play it for you. Okay, look, she's excited. Ready? Okay. I don't remember it being that fun when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, but it was very, very fun for these children. So that's great. Good for them. Anyway, we will start with a problem. Let me just make sure this is right. Okay, good. Sometimes I struggle with the microphone. Anyway, so we'll do one first, that is numbers. So this is more familiar. You haven't seen the polynomial division first. So I have 428. This is the dividend. It's already written on there, but it's a little blurry. I'm dividing by 3. What you divide by is the divisor. Okay. And the answer when you divide is the quotient. Oops. There's some dividing vocabulary for you. Okay, so when I divide, I just look at the very far left part of the dividend, and I compare that with, if I had a longer number out as a divisor, I would just look at the left part, but I just have a 3. So I divide 4 by 3. Don't worry about the whole 428 to start with, just divide 4 by 3, and I get 1. And then I multiply. 1 times 3 is 3, and I subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. I bring down the 2, and I divide. 12 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And I multiply. 4 times 3 is 12. And I subtract. 12 minus 12 is 0. And I bring down the next number, 8. So now I'm dividing 8 by 3. 8 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6, and I subtract, and I have a remainder. 428 divided by 3, I don't get an even whole number. I get 142 plus 2 parts of the 3. My quotient, the way we used to write this in elementary school was you'd write 142 remainder 2 or something similar to that. How we'll write it today is 142 and 2/3. If I work this out in the calculator, I would get 142.666667, which is 2/3. So we'll write it this way as a fraction. I'll put my remainder over my dividend. Nope, my divisor, sorry. Okay. Also, whenever I have a remainder other than 0, that means that it didn't divide and get a whole number. So therefore, I could also say 3 is not a factor of 428. So if I, did factor trees for 428, 3 would not be a factor, is what I'm saying there. Okay. Next, I have some steps, some rules for you for dividing here. For polynomial long division, my rules are all expressions should be written in standard form. That's in decreasing order by degree. For example, if I have, oops, sorry about that. If I have x to the third minus 2x plus 1, this is written descending by degree. X to the third is degree 3, 2x, negative 2x is degree 1. So I have degree 3, I have degree 1, I have degree 0. I am missing a degree 2. So I do have a rule also. If I'm missing any terms, so I'm missing degree 2, I fill that in with a 0. So I will rewrite this polynomial before I do division. I would write x to the third plus 0x squared, because I don't have a degree 2 up here, minus 2x plus 1. The reason we do that is it helps when you're combining like terms to make sure there's something that will line up with each degree. I can only combine like terms. That's not new. We already knew that. And I compare the first term of the dividend with the first term of the divisor to get my quotient. So similarly to how I divided 428, I only looked at the 4 first, the very left side. When I look at my polynomials, I'll go with the first term of the dividend and look at the first term of the divisor, and that's how I'll find my quotient. Okay. Please write this problem down. 6x squared minus 7x minus 5 divided by 3x minus 5. To work this problem, the first thing I do is determine whether I'm missing any of the degrees and make sure that the expressions are in standard form. 6x squared is degree 2, minus 7x is degree 1, minus 5 is degree 0. Those are in order and nothing is missing. 3x is degree 1, and minus 5 is degree 0. So those are in order and nothing's missing. I'm ready to divide. I need to rewrite this problem in long division format. Like this. To start dividing, I look at the left side of this polynomial and the dividend, and I divide by the left side of my divisor. So my first division is 6x squared divided by 3x. That's 2x. I align these up by degree over the dividend. That helps me know how far I have, just kind of track where I am working through the problem. That's not required, but that is how I work them. 2x times 3x, then I multiply 2x times 3x, 6x squared. This should always match here, because when I subtract, I'm trying to eliminate this term. I also multiply 2x times negative 5. I get negative 10x. I have to subtract this binomial. So I distribute the negative 1, this negative 1 that's out here, into the parentheses. And the way I show that when I'm working is I change this to positive and I change the signs of the terms inside the parentheses. I distribute that -1 in. Then I combine like terms. 6x squared minus 6x squared, that's 0, right? Minus 7x plus 10x is 3x. And I bring down the next term, minus 5. It's time to divide again. I'll divide the very left part of the dividend by the left part of the divisor. So my second division is 3x divided by 3x. That's 1. So I put plus 1 up here in the quotient. And I multiply. 1 times 3x is 3x. 1 times -5 is minus 5. I need to subtract this binomial. So I change all the signs. And I combine like terms. I have 3x minus 3x, that's 0. And -5 plus 5, that's 0. So now my remainder is 0. That means that when I divided this polynomial, 6x squared minus 7x minus 5, by 3x minus 5, I got 2x plus 1. That's my quotient with no remainder. And since there's no remainder, I can say that 3x minus 5 is a factor of 6x squared minus 7x minus 5. Let's look at another example. 12x to the third plus 9x squared plus 8x plus 6. We'll check our degrees. 3, 2, 1, 0. This one's fine. 3x squared plus 2. Degree 2, degree 0. I will need to add a placeholder 0 for my degree 1 term. Now I can rewrite this as a long division problem. 12x to the third plus 9x squared plus 8x plus 6. This is divided by 3x squared plus 0x plus 2. To do this division, I look at the left side of my dividend and divide by the left side of my divisor. So my first division is 12x to the third power divided by 3x squared. That's 4x. So put 4x up here and multiply. 4x times 3x squared is 12x to the third power. 4x times 0x is 0. 4x times 2 is 8x. I need to subtract this polynomial. So I change all the signs just to make sure I don't have a sign error or an addition subtraction error. And I combine like terms. 12x to the third minus 12x to the third is 0. 9x squared minus 0 is 9x squared. 8x minus 8x is 0. And I bring down this last term. I need to divide. I'll divide the left part here of where I'm working in the dividend by the left part of the divisor. So my next division is 9x squared divided by 3x squared. That's 3. I add plus 3 to the quotient and multiply. 3 times 3x squared is 9x squared. 3 times 0x is 0. 3 times 2 is 6. And when I subtract this polynomial, I change all the signs. I combine like terms. 9x squared minus 9x squared is 0. 0x minus 0x is 0. And 6 minus 6 is 0. So my remainder is 0. That tells me that this 3x squared plus 2 is a factor. Of this polynomial here. Okay? And my quotient is 4x plus 3. I have 2 more examples to work through. Each of them does have a remainder. So we'll write that as a fraction, the remainder over the divisor. Here I have degree 4, degree 3, I'm missing a degree 2, plus 0x squared, degree 1, degree 0 for my dividend. For my divisor, I have x squared. I'll write plus 0x minus 2. So I was missing one term in the dividend and 1 in the divisor. When I write this as long division format, I'll write x to the 4th plus 6x to the 3rd plus 0x squared minus 7x minus 14 divided by x squared plus 0x minus 2. I start dividing on the left side of my dividend. I divide by the left part of my divisor. So my first division is x to the 4th divided by x squared. That's x squared. I start my quotient with x squared and I multiply. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th power. X squared times 0x is 0. X squared times negative 2 is negative 2x squared. I'm subtracting the polynomial. So I change all the signs, combine like terms. X to the 4th minus x to the 4th, 0. 6x to the 3rd minus 0, 6x to the 3rd. 0 plus 2x squared is 2x squared, and I bring down the next term. Now I'm dividing 6x to the 3rd power by x squared. 6x to the 3rd divided by x squared is 6x. So I add plus 6 x to my quotient. 6x times x squared is 6x to the third power. 6x times 0 is 0. 6x times negative 2 is minus 12x. I need to subtract this polynomial. So I change all the signs. And I combine like terms. 6x to the third minus 6x to the third is 0. 2x squared minus 0 is 2x squared. Minus 7x plus 12x is plus 5x. And I bring down minus 14. I have one more division to do. And that is 2x squared divided by x squared. I just feel like we can't see that green very well. 2x squared divided by x squared is 2. So I write plus 2 up here. That's the end of my quotient. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times 0x is 0. 2 times negative 2 is minus 4. I need to subtract this polynomial, so I change the signs. And combine like terms. 2x squared minus 2x squared is 0. 5x minus 0 is 5x. Negative 14 plus 4 is minus 10. I don't have anything else to bring down. Since I lined up my quotient with the degrees of the dividend, I can see that there's nothing else to divide. So this is my remainder. We'll write our remainder as a fraction over the divisor. So I'll write plus 5x minus 10 over x squared minus 2. This is my quotient. Because my remainder was anything other than 0, I would say that this divisor is not a factor of this polynomial. This last one, I will leave open for you to work. So you can pause this. I'm not going to talk my way through it. What I'll do is pause right here. You work it out. And then turn your video back on and you can compare your answer to mine. So I've worked through this. The dividend was missing a degree 1 term. Check your work and make sure that we agree. The remainder is 181. I write that as a fraction over x plus 4. So, oh, it's negative 181, sorry. So my quotient is 3x squared minus 11x plus 44 minus 181 over x plus 4. And since my remainder is negative 181 and not 0, I'd have to say that x plus 4 is not a factor of 3x to the third plus x squared minus 5. Please work through your paper and pencil practice problems You can do as many as you need to so that you feel confident, and then move on to the delta math check.